GuitarLessons.com, the #1 name in guitar lessons online.
Welcome to GuitarLessons.com. In this lesson, we're going to learn all about bar chords. Now, bar chords are something that can be kind of intimidating for beginners because they can be kind of difficult for your left hand. It requires kind of a lot of strength. So, before we learn some actual bar chords, let's learn an exercise that'll strengthen our left hand, specifically our index finger. So what you're going to do is take your index finger and lay it across all 6 strings on the 1st fret and push down. Now you're going to want to have your finger close to the fret, right behind it or right on it, and then you're going to take your right hand and just strum all 6 strings. Now you should have a clear tone on each one, and they shouldn't be buzzing or anything like that. If it's buzzing, that means you're not pushing down hard enough. Don't worry about it. It'll just take some practice and some strengthening for this finger, and you'll have it down. So just do that again. Press down on the 1st fret with all six strings with your index finger. And if it sounds like this, just push a little harder. Make sure your thumb is not hanging over the fretboard like that, but make sure it's behind it so you can get the most, it's an optimization for your index finger to be as strong as it can. Once you have that, take it off, move up to the next fret, do the same exact thing, push down, strum, and then you can continue all the way up the fretboard so you get an idea of how that bar feels all the way up and down the fretboard. So just go to the 3rd fret, do the same thing, 4th fret, and then you can continue as far up and down as you want. So once you have your bar down and you have your index finger a little bit strengthened, you should really have a good idea of your open chords like an E and an A chord. If you know those, we can use those to make the full bar chord. So let's take our E chord, our basic E chord, and make that. Now instead of using these 3 fingers, your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger to make the E chord, you're going to use your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger to make the bar chord. So it's a little bit different fingering, but it's the same shape. So take your 3rd finger, stick it on the 2nd fret on the A string, then take your pinky, stick it on the 2nd fret on the D string, and then take your middle finger and stick it on the 1st fret of the G string. Once you have that on there, slide the whole shape up 1 fret, just like that. Once you have that in place, bring your bar in on the 1st fret, push down, and there you should have your first bar chord. So now that you have that one down, let's learn one more shape, and then we can put some together and come up with some progressions that we can use to make some real music. So take a typical A chord, make that with your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger. It's your typical A chord. Now you're going to do kind of the same thing as far as the fingering. You're going to take, instead of your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger, you're going to use your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger to make your A chord. So make that, move it up 1 fret, and then come lay down your bar over just the 5 strings. Leave your E string out on this one, on this shape. So start on your A string with your pick, and just push down through all 5 strings. Okay, so that's 2 shapes that we can use to play. Instead of our open chords, we can use our bar chords to play different voicings or different shapes for the same chord. So let's say we have a G chord, a C chord, and a D chord that we're playing in our open position right here. Just like that, we can take our bar chords and use them instead of those chords to get a bit of a different sound. So if we want to play G chord, we're going to go to our 3rd fret, put our bar on our 3rd fret, and then play the E shape along with that. Give that a strum, that's a G chord. Then we're going to go to keep our finger on the same fret, the bar on the same fret. Take your A shape, put it right there, that's a C chord because our lowest note right here is a C. They're going to move that up 2 frets. And this note under our index finger here, the lowest note we'll be playing is a D. So this is going to be a D bar chord with an A shape on the 5th fret. Come back down to your C. So notice on the D and the C chords that I just played, I'm only playing the top 5 strings. I'm leaving the E string alone, or I'm covering it up with my index finger just a touch to mute it so it doesn't ring out. So now that you've got a couple bar chords under your fingers, exercise with them and practice with them, and listen to them in songs that you like, because they're going to be all over the place. And as soon as you get these down, you'll be able to play just tons of songs that you really like.